What the Australians have been trying to do is emphasize their ties, cultural ties, sports ties, rugby bad
Yep.
Australians and Islanders, church, the importance of religion in these islands, and so try and say, look, we're all part of this Pacific family. How,
Right.
how does that go down in the years of the Pacific Islanders?
I think there is a value to what, to use an academic term again, Ray, soft power, right? Heck, at Texas A&M, I teach a course on sports and diplomacy. I'm working with ASPI, the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, on the possibility of having a conversation, around the Kava Bowl, in the Pacific Way, about using sport to connect people, right? I think there's a real value to it. I think you can take it too far. As I said, the one mistake I think sometimes people make about the Pacific Islands is that they're not sophisticated. Heck, that's completely wrong. They get it. They've been dealing with Australians and Kiwis and Americans and others for centuries. They sometimes understand us better than we understand ourselves, and so they know what the intent is. But I think anything that's sincere about building bridges and using soft power is appreciated. Let me give you another example about this hybrid approach that the U.S. has in Palau, and unfortunately, it's only in Palau, whereas these groups used to be across the Pacific. I'm talking about civic action teams, affectionately known as the CATs, right? They used to be everywhere across the Pacific following World War II. These are civil engineers, if you will, that come from the military, but they're full-time present in these island nations. In Palau, we have a tri-service rotation of engineers from our military, from the Air Force, Navy, and Army. Unfortunately, no Marines participate in that, but Marines do other things in Palau. And they're known as the CAT team. They've been there longer than the U.S. Embassy. They're better loved than the U.S. Embassy, I have to be honest, because they do things that people can see. They fix roofs. They repair roads. They build playgrounds. They fix basketball hoops. They do small engineering, small infrastructure projects that matter. And they're there all the time. And that is the type of soft power that works. Yes, they're from our military. The military has more resources than the state or the civilian agencies. And yet they're playing a critical role in that relationship between Palau and the United States. They're playing a vital role in the people-to-people diplomacy that we talk about that matters so much in the Pacific. So we're doing our bit. I wish there were more CATs around the Pacific. I think they're probably one of the best investments we have in the Pacific. But I know from personal experience as the ambassador in Palau that they do a fantastic job. So soft power, I think, matters. It's all about partnership, right? And Secretary Mattis has said this and others, you can't surge trust. And so it takes time in the Pacific to build these relationships and to have presence and permanence. And that's where the U.S. has had a problem. I was fortunate enough to serve at one of our few posts in the Pacific. We're trying to open more in the future, but we're playing catch up. We haven't been there. Pulled the Peace Corps out and put them in other places. Only now is the Peace Corps returning to the Pacific. So any opportunity to reconnect via sport or international exchanges, bringing students both ways, or things like civic action teams, they matter. The low cost, high impact, which is really what we need in the Pacific.